Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today let's make a fan fold and spiral ice dye. I'm going to start by drawing a diagonal line on the shirt. I'm going to draw the diagonal line from the shoulder seam to probably about 2 or 3 inches from the hem of the shirt. I want to leave a little bit of extra shirt down at the bottom. Now I'm going to fan fold this line. Now I'm going to tie this line to hold the folds in place with some kite string. Down below the line, or in the bottom portion of the shirt, I'm going to go ahead and continue the fan folds, and I'm going to continue tying with kite string to hold those folds in place as well. I'm choosing to use kite string because I want to allow the dye to move throughout the shirt. I don't want to use sinew because of the wax coating on the sinew. That's going to leave white lines or definition lines on the shirt, which I don't want. I kind of want there to be a continual flow of the dye down throughout the shirt. The remaining part of the shirt is the shoulder of the shirt, up above the line that I drew on the shirt. I'm going to flatten the shirt down in an area and attach my locking tweezers and spiral this portion of the shirt. I'm going to use my microwave splatter guard to try to keep the height of the folds about the same. I don't have a whole lot of fabric here, so my spiral's not going to be very large. I also can't spiral very close to the fan folded portion because that fabric is pretty tight right in that area. I'm going to hold these folds in place with some rubber bands. I went ahead and tied a few more shirts the day that I tied this one, so by the time I got back to actually applying the dye, the shirt was bone dry. It doesn't have to be, but I like to let you guys know what condition the shirt's in when I start applying dye. What I normally do is tie quite a few shirts at the same time before I begin applying the dye to them. Sometimes if there's a shirt that I want to dye when it's damp, either I'll tie it and dye it at the beginning of my tying session or at the end. So most of my shirts end up getting dyed when they're fully dry or almost dry. Okay, I'm going to ice dye this shirt, so I've placed it on top of a metal rack over the top of a plastic tub or tote. I'm using some silicone cake molds to make myself an ice barrier. I'm attaching them together, and then I'm going to wrap them around the shirt and hold them up close to the shirt using some wooden clothespins, which I'm going to attach to the metal rack. I have a link down below in the description for this video for the silicone cake molds and quite a few of the other items that I'm using when I tie-dye. I also have all the colors that I'm using listed down below, as well as links to where I purchased them. Since the shirt is completely dry, I've placed some soda ash solution inside of a squirt bottle, and I'm going to mist the top of the shirt with the soda ash solution to help hold the dye on top a little bit better so that it doesn't all fall off down in the container below. I'm going to start applying dye down at the very end or the fan fold portion of the shirt, and I'm going to apply the dye in stripes. I'm going to alternate between pink and kind of peach type colors down the shirt. I'm also going to leave a line of white in between each of the colors to allow the colors some space to move. I'm starting with Raspberry Mist from Happy Cat, followed by Coral from Pro Chemical, Chantilly Pink from Dye Spin, Watermelon from Pro Chemical, Strawberry Frappe from Dharma, Flamingo Fantasy from Dharma, Grecian Rose from Pro Chemical, and Rosebud from Pro Chemical. I'm just going to repeat this pattern until I get up to the spiraled portion of the shirt. So the Strawberry Frappe and the Flamingo Fantasy are both special order Dharma colors. You can still purchase them from Dharma, but you have to buy them in larger quantities. If you don't want to do that, there's a Facebook group called Tie-Dye Supplies Marketplace, and I'll leave a link down below for that. There are a couple of people out there who purchase these dyes in bulk, and then they break them down into smaller quantities and sell them that way. Occasionally, Dharma brings back some of these colors and offers them, but you can most of the time find them out on the Tie-Dye Supplies Marketplace. Okay, so I've gone as far as I can on the fan fold portion. On the spiral portion, I'm going to divide it into two areas. And I'm going a little diagonally with my areas. I don't want them to end right in the middle of my fan fold portion. On one half of the spiral, I'm adding Strawberry Frappe from Dharma. And on the other half, I'm going to add Dragon Egg from Happy Cat Tie-Dye. The dragon egg splits out with a little bit of green, and I thought that would make that area look a little bit interesting and kind of make it stand out from the rest of the shirt. Now I'm going to add a little bit of additional dry soda ash over the top of the dye and add on a layer of ice. After I get the ice on the shirt, I'm going to go ahead and incline the shirt by placing one end of my metal rack down inside of the container. I'm going to leave the other end of my metal rack hanging over the edge of the container. Now I'm going to place this container aside and allow the ice to melt. I ended up taking the shirt outside in the heat and allowed it to process out there. I left the shirt for about 48 hours after all the ice melted before I began rinsing it. I kind of have some light areas, especially up in the spiral portion of the shirt, but I'm kind of trying to embrace adding less dye and maybe just allow a few white spaces on my shirt. So I'm hoping it turns out well. I started rinsing the shirt in cold water to rinse out the soda ash. Then I untied the shirt and warmed the water up to hot and continued rinsing in hot water to rinse out the excess dye that didn't bond with the fabric. Instead of continuing to rinse for a really long time, I went ahead and ran some hot water in my utility sink, added a little bit of Blue Dawn dish detergent to the water, and just allowed the shirt to soak. When the water cooled off, I changed it out, and I continued that soaking process until the water was remaining almost clear. Then I put the shirt along with some Dharma's Professional Textile Detergent into my washing machine, and I washed it using a hot water cycle. Okay, so the shirt has been washed and dried and ironed, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so what do you guys think? I like the combination of the fan folds and the spiral together. I think that looks kind of cool. And I really like the color portion on the bottom of the shirt. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure about the dragon egg. A whole lot of kind of the yellowy color in the dragon egg came out on this shirt, not as much of the green. I mean, there is some green obviously, but there's more of that kind of mustard type color, which I'm not sure how I feel about that paired with the pinks. I wanted that part to stand out, and it definitely does. I do really like the fact that the main blue-green portion of the dragon egg is in that tight portion of the spiral. So that really defines that spiral area. There's some in other parts of the spiral, but it really hangs into that, main focal point of the spiral. That's a pretty cool effect, I think. Because I inclined the shirt with the corner of the shirt facing down, all those colors are streaking out to that outer edge. It even is pulling some of the dragon egg and the strawberry frappe from above down into those fan-folded colors. I did get a couple little spots of pretty dark blue on this shirt, mainly where I used the strawberry frappe. So I'm thinking that color probably came out of strawberry frappe. Either that or possibly the dragon egg. I've included a close-up of some of the spots. So overall, I really like the shirt. I do think it is very unusual, and I like the colors on the bottom. Like I said, the dragon egg is the only one I'm just not entirely sure that I like it with the rest of the shirt. I don't know. What do you guys think? Please drop me some comments down below and let me know. I love this color, but I don't know. It's that mustardy type yellow for me. And I have a hard time loving yellow. I have started to embrace it better, but it's still not my absolute favorite color. I just thought I would try something different and go for something that was contrasting to the rest of the colors that I used on the shirt. I didn't want the spiral portion just to blend in. So please drop me some comments down below and let me know what you think about it. And if you've enjoyed watching the video, I sure would appreciate it if you would like it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you'll hit the bell, you'll receive a notification whenever I upload a new video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.